Hi everybody, on this channel I've covered a lot of really good old school games. You might be wondering, will I ever review crappy games or games that are just not considered classics or are so obscure that virtually no one's heard of them? Well, the answer is yes, there are games that might be so bad they're actually good. And I think you know what I mean. Many old horror movies are like that, but you always have to decide for yourself. So let's take a look at one right now. In the late 1960s, early 1970s, a cartoonist named Gilbert Shelton created an underground comic called The Freak Brothers, and it's a weird satirical take on stoner culture, among other things. Its visual style somewhat resembles the works of Robert Crumb, but cheaper somehow. Shelton became pretty popular back then among the counterculture crowd, enough so that he eventually founded his own publishing company, which he called Ripoff Press. Anyway, in 1971, a couple of his buddies produced a board game based on this Freak Brothers world called the official Dealer McDope Dealing Game. It's a roll and move that plays like a cross between Careers and Talisman, except the theme is drug trafficking. Today, it's obscure as they come. It's expensive on the secondary market too for those who collect that kind of memorabilia, and I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to pay $275 for a used physical copy of the game. However, I am interested in weird games enough that I'm willing to give it a try, and I will play anything. And to do so, in this case, I will improvise by using the invaluable free online tool known as Vassal Engine that anybody can use. It's www.vassalengine.org. So another reason why I'm making this video is to just provide you with an example of how you can explore long out of print classic games using this free to use software. Somebody uploaded the McDope module, so I just had to check it out. I can demonstrate one way you can play this game without actually having to own a physical copy. Before we go any further, I will issue a trigger warning. The game is a black humor riff on drug culture. It's supposed to provoke and make you gasp because it's just so salacious, I guess. This is way before political correctness was a thing, too. So if you're offended by drug related humor, foul language, ribald subject matter in general, skip this video. Board game isn't worth getting upset over. Why would you play into the hands of the designers by getting offended? But the question is, does the game have any laughs in it? Any redeeming qualities at all for modern audiences? It depends. I think it might, especially with a few mods, as I will try to demonstrate. As long as you can comfortably distinguish satire from real world and appreciate Shelton's sense of humor. Personally, I don't think he's that funny. His art and illustrations are super colorful, though, and they are interesting to look at. The whole presentation of whatever it is he's trying to convey is interesting. It's not really clear to me what the message is most of the time, but you can mod this game easily, adjust some rules, and perhaps have some fun with it if you have the right crowd to play with. Anyway, so we load up the Dealer McDope module and we get the board, as you can see. You'll notice the board is blurry in spots. Thankfully, there is a help button that we can use to see exactly what's printed on the main track of the original board. Likewise, the location tracks also have blow-up sections that clear things up for us as well. The object of the game is to make as much money as you can by trafficking drugs without getting caught, getting sent to prison, or losing all your money, which is basically the same as dying in this game. The winner is the last person standing, or you may calculate net worth after a set number of rounds or trips around the board if you want a shorter game. And I have to admit, it's been a long time since I've seen a copy of the official rules, but I do remember enough of them to run the game. I also came up with a mod idea to make it feel more like Beer Mat Software's Dope Wars, the free video game from the 1990s, which I thought was pretty fun back in the day. In McDope, you roll and move with 2d6. On doubles, a player gets to go again. You start at Doobie Ohio. Like in Monopoly, if you make a lap around the track, you get a reward for passing this home space. 15,000 cash in a deal card or a drug deal. And each player starts with $75,000, and they draw 2 deal cards to begin. The deal cards specify an exotic location overseas where you may procure any of the 4 different drugs portrayed in the game at a set price. You may traffic marijuana, hash, opium, and cocaine. Prices and amounts vary according to the individual deals, and there are 28 different deals in the game. You draw them randomly. The actual decks do click on this version, but I find it kind of ponderous to manipulate them. and to use this aspect of the software, but I do have all the game files, so I came up with a workaround, and I just printed the files out and turned them into slips of paper, which I will draw from cups instead of clicking on the virtual decks. There is a boss deck, karma deck, and deal deck, and for the purposes of this video, I will click on the scans of the cards for the first couple of draws only, so you can get a sense of what the original components look like. They look cheap, construction paper cutouts. In other words, they just look like crap. So to keep the video shorter and the game moving faster, I'll do much of the bookkeeping off screen with a pad of paper and pencil. And I will, of course, just do a play-by-play of the action and relate what the players are carrying and how much money they have and everything. I will show the off-camera setup. So it looks like this. This will be a demonstration of a two-player game, and I will play the role of Mr. Green. And then I will play against a dummy character or a rival drug trafficker, Miss Scarlet, represented by the red pawn on the screen. So you'll see who comes out on top, me or the NPC. And we'll probably just do 2 trips around the board. So more on the board, at the top and bottom you have horizontal gauntlets basically that separate the pickup locations on the right from the sell points on the left. Anything can happen to you at any time, it seems. You can obtain drugs, money, and deals, or lose drugs, money, and deals under any number of ridiculous circumstances. The deals tell you where to go on the right to obtain drugs at set prices, and then you have to transport them to the west in order to sell for profit. The trick is not getting caught or busted, and I made a 3 strikes rule for getting caught and going to prison. So we're going to play it this way. The player's first strike, they lose 3 turns and all their drugs. Second strike, 6 turns and all their drugs. And a third strike equals life, but they get to roll 2d6 once per turn, and on a snake eyes result they get released on a technicality. And finally I made a mod on the selling side, so the game plays out a lot more like Dope Wars. All you need to use this mod is a bag of Scrabble tiles and a chart that lists different market conditions according to which letter is drawn. Every time a player enters a Western location track, draw a letter and consult the market chart to get the current market conditions at that location, and my chart looks like this. Didn't take me a long time to come up with this, by the way. It basically randomizes prices. You may not even have a worthwhile market for a certain drug at any given time or place. Some letters will say you may sell a drug at between 1 to 5 times purchase price, etc. It all depends. So if you don't want to use a mod like this, the game comes with a basic chart that you just roll 2d6 on, and it gives you the prices that you can get for your drugs. The difference between what I use and what comes with the game is that my prices are specific to locations and they change. What else? Okay, so there are spaces on the board that prompt players to smoke a joint. I guess in real life. They have no in-game activity associated with them. So I say if any player in my game lands on one of these spaces, it means all market letters go back into the bag and are redrawn to re-randomize selling conditions at each Western location. And you have to actually enter a location track to reveal a market condition letter, by the way. And I think that's all for the housekeeping. I think the pot space in the top right is supposed to be a prize space, like every time players lose money, and it's not to other players directly. You're supposed to kick a percentage to the pot, and if a player lands on the pot space, they get the money. So for this game, we'll say every time a player gets nabbed by authorities, 5 grand will be placed in the pot, and I will keep track of this off screen. Mr. Green's money and drugs I will display on the screen, and everything else will be off screen, but I'll update the status of the game with my play-by-play. So here we go. Okay, so we'll start the game by giving each player 2 deals. So for Miss Scarlet, she'll have deal number 18 and deal number 28. And Mr. Green will have deal number 5 and deal number 17. So I'll show you what those look like in a minute. First of all, we have to determine who goes first. So I already gave Mr. Green his starting 75,000. So we'll just do a 2d6 roll here. For Scarlet, that's 8. So Scarlet will go first. So I'll show you the deals that Miss Scarlet has here. She has 18. Deal card will just look like that. So it just says, Guy Mess Ralph's always got dope, 400 pounds of Acapulco gold weed at $50 per, total value 20,000, and or 5 pounds of stepped on coke at 3,000 per, total 15,000. So she can get coke or weed at Acapulco, or in Kabul she can get, let's see, number 28. She can get an established hashish dealer with 1,000 years of experience will trade fairly for 500 pounds of black primo 2 at 50 per for 25,000. So that's a pretty good spread, weed, coke, and hash. But the most valuable is the hash at Kabul. So that's where she's at. So she will go first with a roll of 7. So you move 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go for the help, extra stash. Purchase 200 pounds opium at 100 per, and or 100 pounds of hash at 50 per. Does she want to do that? She can get hash, weed, or stepped on coke. I think she'll do the 200 pounds of opium. So 200 pounds, 100 equals, so that'll cost her $20,000. So she'll be at 55K, but she will have 200 pounds of opium. So I'll write down that in her inventory, 200 pounds of opium before she even gets to the buying side. But she's down to 55K, so she's playing it risky. So now Mr. Green goes, that's me. So I'll roll a 2d6. Ooh, doubles, so I'll get to go again. So 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll just show you what deals I have. So I got deal 5. I can go to Beirut. So that's deal 5. The deal with Palestinian rebels, 300 pounds of dark brown hash at 50. So you can get hash. But the other deal, number 17, is more valuable. So I can get hash or opium at Kathmandu. So that's deal 17. So deal 17, let's see here. I'll just show you what that looks like. Senzing the sharpened dealer has his shit together. Deal 400 pounds of black hash at 50 per, and or 200 pounds of commie opium at 100 per, total 40. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Kathmandu for some hash or opium, I guess. So that's where Mr. Green's headed. So, but we'll look at where I landed here. Busted on dummy charges by the feds, forfeit 15,000 and 200 pounds of stash. Darn. Conspiracy already? On dummy charges, so I'm down 15K. So let's see, 75 minus 50, that's going to be 60. So we'll take care of the money first. Return to deck. Return to deck. So let's go with 10. That's 60 now. That's Spiro Agnew. And then the Freak Brothers on the 50,000. Okay, so close the money stash. So I get to go again because I landed on this. So re-roll here. That's a 10. So I'm still going to Kathmandu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to kick 5,000 into the pot because that's the rule with the pot. Like, if you don't surrender money to another person directly, we're going to play 5,000 per penalty. K gets added to the pot. So there's 5,000 K in the pot here. I'll just write that down. So I'm at Guadalajara. Not much is happening. Light 20,000. Because I got conspiracy charges and Scarlet. I'll just write this down here. Or sorry, 15, so I'm at 60. Scarlet's got 55,000 on her, but 200 pounds of opium. So she's going to roll now. She is headed to Kabul, I guess, because she has a good deal there for hash. So she's going to roll an 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, we're in the same spot. Okay, so green's turn. I'm at 60K. And I have no drugs yet, but I'm headed to, I want to go to Kathmandu. So that's just down here. So I roll 10 again. So 1, 2, 3, and then you go into the track. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can see it's really small there, but luckily you just use this feature at the top here, Kathmandu. So I'm here caught in the act. Boy, I'm not sure what it says. Balling a llama is a major offense. I don't know what that's. I'll let you decide what that means. I hope it's not what I think it is. Anyway, that's going to cost me another 5. So I'm down to 55K. But I do get to go again. So I'm on the Kathmandu track. Let's put that up here. Roll again. It's going to be a 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is just like a finish line here. So I will be able to score the dope, but then I have to draw a bust card, and I'll wind up in Bangkok. So the dope that I'm looking to get is, well, it can be 400 pounds of hash at 50 per, or 200 pounds of opium at 100 per, both $20,000 deals. I think I'll go with the commie opium. So that's going to cost me minus 20, so I'm at 35K now. So I have to get rid of this money. Return to deck. Return to deck. Only have 35K. So there's that. And there's that. And there's Reagan. But I now have 200 pounds of opium. So where's the drugs? I think it's Red Sword, yeah. Okay. Minimize that here. So Mr. Green has 35,000. I have 200 pounds of opium burning a hole in my pocket. Scarlett is wanting to go to Kabul because she wants 500 pounds of black primo to hashish. Okay, so she rolls now. Ooh, 12, so she gets to go again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What does that say? She's in Kabul. Oops. So it says Abul Khan has 200 pounds of hash for only 5,000. Yeah. Why not? So now she has 200 pounds of hash. She has 200 pounds of opium. And she is at 50K. So she's doing a lot better than I am so far. She actually has the money, more money, and what do I have? I have the 200 pounds of opium. So I have 200 pounds of opium. But she also has 200 pounds of opium and 200 pounds of hash, and she has $15,000 more than I do. And she still hasn't even got that deal yet locked up. But she will here on her next roll because she rolled doubles, I believe. Yes. So she rolls again at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I forgot to draw a bust card, so I will do that now actually. So she, and then I will complete her Scarlett's drug deal and bust card. But first I'll draw my bust card. So I draw from this bust deck. I'll just draw the slip of paper. It's number 6. So we'll see what that says. Bust number 6. Oops. It says federal agents are hip to you. Pay off 30% of your cash to avoid a bust. Oh. Okay, so 30% of my cash to avoid a bust. Well, 30% of 35,000, so 0.3 times 35 equals, that's going to be 10.5. So I lost another 10,500. So I'll round that up to, I guess, what, 20,000? Or, what am I talking about? 11,000. So what do I have now? 35 minus 11. You're gonna have 24,000 left. There isn't ones though. I'll just have to round it to 25. Oops. Come on, Reagan. There we go. So I'm only down to 25,000. I'm down 2/3 of my money. And so now I have to complete Scarlett's deal, and she has to draw a bust card. So Scarlett's already got 200 pounds of opium, 200 pounds of hash. She has 50K, but she's going to buy another 500 pounds of hash for 25,000. She's carrying 700 pounds of hash now. 700 pounds of hash. But that's going to cost her 25, so that's half her money. So she's got 25,000 K. So she completes that Kabul deal. So she's 700 pounds of hash, 200 pounds of opium, $25,000. I only have $25,000 as well, but I only have 200 pounds of opium. So she has $500 pounds more drugs than I do. And I'll put another 5 in the pot for me being busted, so now the pot has 10K. And now Scarlett has to draw a bust card because she completed her deal, and she landed on karmic, so she has to draw a karmic card. So we'll do her bust card first. Bust card is 22. This was an expansion because I think it only came in, there's 18 bust cards, but a long time ago a friend and I made another 10 because we wanted it to be equal to the number of karmic and deal cards. So this is an expansion, and it was based off the Dope Wars game. So it just says mugged in a dark alley. You didn't see it coming. Roll 1d6. 1 to 2, lose all money. What? 3 to 6, lose entire stash. Oh no, that could ruin Scarlett right there because she got mugged. So we'll just I'll click this and we'll go by the first d6 roll. So hopefully, what would be worse? I would say losing all her money. She needs a 1 or a 2 on the first d6 here. Doesn't get it, so she loses her stash, but she still has 25K, so that's a huge setback for Scarlett. But she gets to draw a karmic card. She got mugged in Kathmandu, I guess. Karmic card. She says karmic kickback. Your contact in Ann Arbor, Michigan is a ripoff. This is oops. She drew 28. Karmic 28. Your contact in Ann Arbor, Michigan is a ripoff. Lose 10,000 unfronted acid. So now she's down to 15K. And no money. Or sorry, no drugs. So, yeah, being a drug dealer is really hard in this game, apparently. Very unlucky. So now we're at Mr. Green. Mr. Green rolls. His status is he's got 200 pounds of opium and $25,000. So I roll a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What does that say? Go to the help. The Happy Dust Railroad. Purchase 10 pounds of rock coke at only, so that's 20,000. I'd only have $5,000 left. I can't do it. Even though I want to, because I need a buffer there. I gotta complete a deal here somehow. Now Scarlett's only got $15,000 left, no drugs because she got mugged in Kathmandu. So now she rolls a 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Karmic. Hopefully she gets lucky here with her karmic draw. Whoops. She draws a karmic card. It's number 25. says peak payoff, lay 5,000 on the warthogs and split with your stash. Okay, so if I get busted and go to jail, or if she gets busted and go to jail, she can pay 5,000. So it's a $5,000 get out of jail. So that's not that bad. But she has no drugs. Also, I forgot to mention, you can go either direction, I believe, on the track, but you can only get money and deals by making a complete lap around Doobie Town, so the starting spot. Maybe I should have... Well, no, she would have... Going backwards, I don't think would have helped her. So now where I'm at the Happy Dust Railroad, I roll Mr. Green. Got to get rid of that 200 pounds of opium. I'll go pretty much anywhere. I don't care where I'm not going to be picky. I want to get rid of this as quickly as possible. Flip it. Roll the dice. 11. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go to Chicago. 10, 11. See what that says. Chicago. And I'll draw a market condition. So the market condition letter is G. So according to G, it's a DEA hotspot. And I can sell weed at 4X. Hash, no. There's no market for hash. Opium, 2 times what I paid for it. Up to 500. So I guess I'll just try and dump it at Chicago at 2 times what I paid for it, which was... what did I pay for it? $20,000. Oh yeah, so it was the Catman. I got commie opium, 200 pounds of commie opium, 20,000. So that'll be 40,000 I can make if I can dump it at Chicago. So let's see what Chicago says, that spot I'm on. Chicago. Blackmailed by informer, lose 200 pounds of stash. Are you kidding me? That's all my stash. Wow, this game is hard. So we both don't have any drugs. What am I going to do? I'm at $25,000. Scarlet's at 15,000, and that's it, man. Our loan sharks are gonna kill us. Oh crap! I moved the wrong token. So I think I got 11. So I was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's try and go to London. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So Chicago's at condition G. And London is D. So I will actually get back my opium because the previous move didn't happen. That was lucky. So London is condition D, which says, this is your brain on drugs. Sell entire stash for 4x value. Okay, so that would be 80,000 if I can go through London. So that was better. I was lucky that I caught that mistake there. But I still haven't checked this track. So London. Where is it? Okay. So it's the third one. Cockney Junkie rips you off for $5,000. Okay, so I'm down to 20. I still have 200 pounds of opium. Lost 5,000. So what is Scarlett going to do? She has an Acapulco deal. She can get 5 pounds of stepped on coke for 15K. So she has to go back to Acapulco. So roll 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 federales. That doesn't sound good. Pay off 15,000 to avoid a bust. She can use her pig payoff lay 5,000. So, because she doesn't want to lose 3 turns by going to jail. She has no, yeah. So she'll just have to expend that. She's down to 10K. But then she can't afford the stepped on coke for 15,000 at Acapulco. So, federales. I think she's going to have to go to prison and go on a strike because otherwise she's going to lose money. That's what she's going to have to do. She's going to have to sit in jail for 3 turns. So I'm going to get to go 3 times. She's in jail. So I'll go 3 times. And then she'll get spit out at Doobie Town, I guess. Okay, so Mr. Green goes, I'm in London. I can get an $80,000 for my commie opium if I can just make it to the end of this track here. 12 does it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm in New York. I sell this for 80,000. But then I have to draw a bust card. So I'm now at $100,000 for now. No drugs. So, ooh, there we go. We got I like that picture. Okay, so now I have to draw a bust card, so I draw a bust card. It's number 7. So bust card says, I hope it's not bad. Busted by authorities, forfeit all stash and go to prison at once. Well, I don't have any stash. So, but that's 1 strike. So we're both at 1 strike. So I have 100K. Scarlett has 15K. And we both start at Doobie Town because we both basically get out of jail at the same time. Both with 1 strike against us. So that's 1 lap around the track. So Scarlett's on the ropes. And I turned a profit for the first lap. But I started at 75,000. So it's actually not that big of a profit. I only made 25,000 cash by selling that opium. Okay. So Scarlett will go first. This will be the final. She needs to get lucky here. Oh, she gets another deal. She still has that Acapulco deal. She'll draw another deal card. And it is deal number 24. So I'll show you deal number 24. Whoopsie. Deal number 24, deal number 24, deal number 24, deal number 24 is Guadalajara. Fat Benny's deals suck. She can get 200 pounds of pepperweed at 50 per. So that's 10,000. Or 5 pounds of worthless methadroned coke for 10. That's actually the kind of deal that she needs though, because she only has 15,000 K, so that's good for her. So she's off to Guadalajara or Acapulco. So let's see, she rolls a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coke, that's she's gonna have to pass on the coke. Coke is it. Things go better with coke. You may cop 10 pounds of raw cocaine, so she doesn't have the 20,000. But she gets to go again, because she rolled a 6. 1, 2. That's bad for her. Let's see. Is that all her money now? But hold on a second. Forfeit 15. Yeah, so she can't do that, but she can go the other direction. So she can go backwards and then go again. She has to do that. So she's here, so she can go one here. What does that say? Pay 5,000 for 2 new deals. She doesn't want to do that. She does get to go again. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. McDopes. What is that? It says decadent deals. Pay 5,000 for 2 new deals and turn on. She doesn't want to do that. So it's my turn, Mr. Green. So I have the deal 5 Beirut, deal with Palestinian rebels, 300 pounds of dark brown hash at 50 per. That's 15,000. I only have $20,000 left though. Or no, sorry. After my successful hash deal, I have 100K, so I can get hash. From Beirut, or I'm going to get another deal here. Draw a deal card. Oopsie. Let's get the slip of paper out. It's another Kathmandu one. It's deal number 27. So it looks like this. A native chieftain has mountains of hash. 600 pounds orgasmic black at 5 of 50 pounds. So no black stuff this trip. So that one's 15,000. They're both $15,000 deals. It's either hash from Kathmandu or hash at Beirut. So go to the one that's closest. So now I actually roll the dice. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The hash man. I don't need to see the hash man. What does it say? Where's the hash man? Oh, purchase. Nah. Should I? I'll be good for now. I don't really need it. So now we have Scarlett. She's basically on her last legs. She has 2 cheap deals for weed or crappy coke, either from Guadalajara or Acapulco. She has a get out of jail free card. She rolls Guadalajara. Acapulco's right here. So she's got to turn right in here quickly. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's our turn. Mr. Green goes 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I still need to go to Beirut or Kathmandu, so that's doesn't help me. So now it's Scarlett goes. She rolls 9. So she's going to go up the Acapulco track. She's trying to get some weed or worthless coke, stepped on coke, or methadone coke, or weed. I don't know. We'll see. So she rolled a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What does that say? Acapulco. Right there. So she is there? No, there. Yes. Partner freaks on acid at the Hilton. Lose 1 turn. Okay. So I get to go twice. I'm at Guadalajara, but I need to go to Beirut or Kathmandu, so I roll. I roll again. But anyway, so 1. Let's go to Beirut. 300 pounds of dark hash. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beirut. Extra from Israel. Advance 6 to score 6 and score 10,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I get a bonus 10,000. I score the dope deal. I'm going to go again too because Scarlett loses a turn. So I'm going to be at 110. Oops. And then I buy the dope in Beirut, so I have to cough up 15,000. So now I'm going to be at 95. Oops. Sorry, 90. Oh, come on. 50. See, this is why it's kind of ponderous to play this way, but whatever. Need another 20. Wrong button. Okay. So I've got 90, but I also have 300 pounds of dark brown hash. Okay, so 300 pounds dark brown hash. Okay. 90,000, 300 pounds dark brown hash. Good to go again. $11. I like how it says, what does that say? McDice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to Kathmandu. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But I do have to draw a bust card. Always draw a bust card after a deal. So this bust card is number 13. What does it say? Escape safely and score extra 5,000 front money. Okay. So I got an extra 5,000. That was lucky. So I got 95,000. £300 of ash, $95,000 cash. And now, poor old Scarlet. She's got to get that cheap coke or weed. So she rolls an 8. She's going to get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's say she gets her, she's got 15K left. If she wants the really cheap coke, let's give her 200 pounds. Oh, she's at Acapulco, so it's gonna have to be, yeah, it's gonna have to be the 5 pounds of stepped on coke at 3,000 per. So that's gonna be, yeah, that's all her money. She has no money at all. That's bad. But she does have 5 pounds of coke. So I'll write that down. She draws a bust card. This could be the end of the game for her, though. Hopefully she doesn't get unlucky. It says bust 12, a daring escape. Score 15,000 for valuable artifacts. Oh, number 12. Ooh, she's lucky there. She drew this one. Oops. So now she has 15K and 5 pounds of coke. So she can actually go to Guadalajara for her other cheap deals, but that would only leave her with $5,000 cash, which is probably not enough, but she is kind of desperate. So I'm in Kathmandu. I want to get 600 pounds of orgasmic black of hash for 15K. So we will roll the dice here. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to lose 15K. Get rid of this one. Return to deck. Need a 5,000 one. So I got 80,000, 300 pounds of hash, and I get another 600 pounds. Wow. I got 600 pounds at 15, so I'm going to have 900 pounds of hash, basically. Oh, the hash man. Didn't think I'd be so deep into hash. But Scarlet has 15k now. Oh, I draw a bust card. It is 11. Experience pays off split safely and score 10,000 from front. And, oh, okay. So 70, 80. I should have 90,000 total. Let's clean this up. So I got 90,000 total. Like 900 pounds of hash. Okay, and Scarlet's turn. She has 15,000k, 5 pounds of coke. Does she want to go to Guadalajara? No, she doesn't have a good buffer. That would cost her 10k. She just has to hope to get lucky here some other way. She rolls. She gets a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop that joint. That's going to be just going to scramble the. I think that has no activity associated with it. I don't think. Anyone smoking paste, oh, whatever. I'm not smoking marijuana. So, yeah. We'll just say that re-scrambles the market conditions in Chicago and London. So the market conditions are unknown now. So Mr. Green goes, my deals are done. I have to sell. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Karmic is not good. Draw Karmic card. I draw Karmic number 20. Bad luck, schmuck. Your best friend rips you off for 10% of your cash. That's your karma. Okay. So 10% of 90. 9,000. I'll just say 10,000. Friend ripped me off $10,000. Nice friend. So let's see. I'll go in there. There we go. So now I have 80,000 and 900 pounds of hash. And Scarlet has 15k and 5 pounds of coke. So she rolls. She gets an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not sure what that says. Jivas Trucker is your new name. Advance to port of trade immediately and collect 15 from any poachers. Okay, well, she's going to get 15k, so she's going to be at 30. She'll have 30k. And let's put her. Oh, I don't know. she can get any port. So let's put her in San Francisco, or let's put her in, yeah, San Francisco. And she will draw the market condition for San Francisco. She has Coke. It's market condition I. I says 0 tolerance here. Sell any single stash for 2x. So she can double her Coke deal. So that will, if she can get home, she'll get another 30,000 for the stepped on Coke or whatever it was. Yeah. And I'll just see if I can make it home here safely. We got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jet to trade immediately. Okay. I'll go to LA. So, unless something terrible happens, it looks like I'm going to win. But I'll get Scarlet on the track of San Francisco. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Scabies in the city. Lose 1 turn and all your friends. Okay, so I get to go twice. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, oh, I forgot to draw the conditions. So, San Fran is I. LA is D. This is your brain on drugs. Sell entire stash for 4x. Okay. Should make good money there. So anyway, what does that say? LA. Sell meth and watts, score extra 5 grand. Okay. So let's just say I'm at 75,000 cash. $85, I guess, because there's an extra 10 there. Or 20, was it? Yeah, 20. No, it's a 10. Okay. So Scarlet rolls. Or actually, she misses a turn, so I roll. So 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sell LA is D, so that says as your brain on drugs, start stash for 4x. So my deals were actually worth both 15, so total of 30, so 4 times 30. That's going to be 120,000, an extra $120,000. So all of this goes away. Get 120 more. But I do draw a bust card. So who knows what's going to happen here. I don't have any drugs. So, oh, here's the bust deck. Draw a bust card. 9. Uh-oh. Blackmail, cross the border safely buy, but pay off 20% of your cash and 100 pounds of stash to an informer. Well, I already sold it, but I have to pay 20% of my cash, so that's going to be a lot. So how much do I actually have now? of 150, of 170, 190, 190. That's 200, 205,000. So 205 times 0.2. It's going to be 40. Wow. Lost a lot of money there. So I got 165,000 now. So now, but no drugs. And Scarlett goes finally. She gets a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's her 2 laps. She's going to be able to sell her 5 pounds of Coke. And San Francisco was I, so that is 0 tolerance here. So she would have, she already has 30K, so she would end up with 60,000 K. And she would get like another 15 for passing. So let's give her 15,000, extra 15,000. So she would end up with 75K right where she started. So she's no further ahead. After all of that, she could pay off her loan sharks. Or not even. It was just like all for nothing. It was a net zero situation for Miss Scarlett, 2 trips around. And I will just finish the game off here. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whatever that says. Danger. Let's see what that says. Return to Doobie Town or throw dice. Okay, I'll do it. It doesn't matter. It's still my strike too, and I don't have any drugs to lose. It doesn't matter. I still won. Let's see. Make it official. 4. 10,000. So 10 plus 15. That's an extra 25,000. So Mr. Green made 25,000 plus, what do I have here? I have 150, 165. So 165 plus 25 equals 190. So I started with 75 borrowed money, 190. Minus 75K equals. I basically made $115,000. And it was mainly that huge hash deal. 2 trips around. But, yeah, and Scarlett broke, well, yeah, it was a net zero, the whole drug trade. She would have to go again. She couldn't retire. She still couldn't escape the labyrinth of dealing drugs on the black market. But anyway, overall, there you go. Here's an example of Dealer McDope Dealing Game. I wouldn't buy it. It's too expensive on the secondary market. I would play it like this, though, on Vassal anytime. I think it's relatively amusing. I think there's a few laughs in it. I can see why some people would really like it with the right crowd. People say the actual physical copy is like really junky, and the player tokens look like something that dropped out of a 5-cent gumball machine. So, I mean, if you can find it for $10 at a yard sale or something like that, then I don't see why not. But paying inflated prices at an online auction, I would avoid. So it's a pretty interesting game. It's kind of fun to have the ability to play these super obscure weird games without ever having to own a physical copy, just by using Vassal. So I'm glad I gave it a try. It's definitely not for everyone. The game seems, I don't know. I only read one book of the Freak Brothers, and it was like this one where the one dude, he becomes like a some cult leader or something like that. I think the game itself feels a little bit more mean spirited than the books, to be honest. But yeah, it's interesting, colorful, and yeah, I hope you got something out of this. Anyway, next video, I think I'll return to something more mainstream. But every now and again, I really love to play the super obscure titles that no one else has covered. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more content coming soon.